Welcome everyone again to Skeptics Cafe. We're meeting here on the land of the Wurundjeri people in a place called Bijkersma of the Kulin Nation. And tonight we've got Karen Bijkersma speaking to us about the heartbreak industry. Now, Karen is a well-known author, artist, raconteur. What do you call yourself?
That's perfectly summed up.
Okay.
All those things.
All right. And she recently had some heartbreak, and that heartbreak apparently affected the algorithm to some degree.
To a large degree.
So I'm just going to share your slides. So the Zoom people are now seeing some broken hearts and some mended hearts. You know, it's a lovely transition you've got there. And I think you're all ready to go.
Okay, so I need to let you out now.
Oh, yeah. We've created this with this pen with cables and stuff. Yeah.
Put ourselves into a corner, but here we go. Okay, thank you everyone for coming tonight. It's a pleasure to present to you all and share my journey from heartbreak to healing with the aid and sometimes the not so welcome aid of Facebook. It was quite a bizarre experience, this 3-month journey. But yeah, as you said, I'm a writer. I've been a writer-editor for 33 years, and I'm also an artist. But as a writer, I absolutely love researching a new subject, and that translates into my private life as well. If there's something going on, such as, you know, having a baby, then I'll do the research, realise it's a book and produce a book. So that was my first book and I needed that one. And then coming out of a domestic violence relationship 4 years ago now, I dove into that topic and produced this book. And both books feature the categorization of information. I love to organize information into specific categories. So this one sort of chapter by chapter, nappies, sleep, baby food, and so on, all organized by chapter heading. And this one has 28 survival stories from different women, which sort of tell a whole story of patterns. But in the back, there's a whole section organised alphabetically, an A to Z guide to red flags. And yeah, alphabetically is another great way to organise and share information. But tonight I have collected the screenshots from my 3-month Facebook journey and organised those into categories as well, this time on a timeline, because that's how it seemed to unfold. So yeah, last November when I was producing this, I had my heart broken. Hard to believe. I had a breakup, but yes, I can't believe it either, but that's what happened. And so it left me in a tough place, wanting to do some research, what had gone wrong in this relationship, what could I avoid doing next time. Chris, I'm trying to change slides and it's not happening. I'm trying to get to the book one.
This happen every time.
There we go. Okay, so that button.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the 2 books, and so I'll give a bit of a background. So yeah, so I started doing my own research my way, educate my way out of this heartbreak. That's one way of dealing with it. Think about what went wrong, learn about that, and what I can do better going forwards, and try and make sense of what happened. And so I've been on Facebook for 15 years. I know it's Meta. I still call it Facebook because yeah, I've been on it 15 years, and I use it in a myriad number of ways, including support groups. So it's good for the heartbreak, special interest groups, And so I was using Facebook as an additional source of information through my Heartbreak. And being 2024, you know how it is. We all have this experience with Facebook. You know, if you say you're, you know, Michelle was saying earlier, she bought a vacuum cleaner. Now she's bombarded with, you know, vacuum cleaner ads on Facebook. So yeah, Facebook heard me crying and saw that I was, you know, buying the odd book on, you know, relationships and that sort of thing. And so the you know, the algorithm started to do its thing, and this batshit crazy journey unfolded and took me to all kinds of strange places. Well, if I'd chosen to go to all those places, it really would have been, but I was more observing rather than really participating. But I have collected them and organized them for you on a timeline in categories. So it started with relationship gurus, and these were because of the book that I'd bought, relationship gurus who were psychologists who, you know, I checked their credentials before, you know, I read what they had to say on Facebook, and they had some very good advice, which I was happy to receive. And the more I watched their reels, the more I started to receive. And yeah, it started with relationship gurus who then changed into ads for various types of woo. This was a progression, clearly hoping to take advantage of my vulnerable state. Yeah, going for someone when they're down. So it was like being sucked into a vortex, really. And it was alarmingly sophisticated, I would say, in the way that it rolled out. It was like a very carefully orchestrated campaign, I came to feel, you know, all under the one sort of marketing umbrella company. And maybe I was getting paranoid, and it's not quite that orchestrated and sophisticated, but it definitely started to feel that way. But also sometimes it was hilarious and, you know, very entertaining. So anyway, I then put together just a few examples. Like every slide I show you shows a couple of examples, and there were at least, you know, 10 times as many. And when I was collecting screenshots for this presentation, I had to go back into my newsfeed and snapshot them. And I did that in 3 30-minute sessions, and I collected over 300 screenshots just that easily. It was like now 80% of my newsfeed, like, you know, my newsfeed is like totally fucked. It's got all this, you know, all this garbage on it. Although this is, you know, where it started nicely with the professional relationship counsellors, and I found them comforting and helpful. But before I knew it, what happened next was the less qualified and less professional the offerings became, and I started getting ads for celebrity coaches who don't have the credentials. In fact, none of these people have any psychology or coaching credentials that I have up on the screen. And each of them has a huge cult following. Matthew Hussey, the first one I show, dating coach. That's sort of all he can claim. A New York Times bestseller. Currently runs 7-hour seminars, Get the Guy, with, you know, more than 800 women in attendance at a time. And each of these finishes with a long ad for his 5-day retreats in Florida that are, you know, $4,000 a head. If you want a one-on-one, 1-hour coaching session with Matthew, that will be $10,000. And I think we're probably talking American dollars, so that would be like $15,000 for an hour with an unqualified coach. Which he started his business as a teenager. Just, I don't know, it doesn't have any formal qualifications. Currently has around 3.26 million followers on YouTube. And that's just YouTube. I mean, across all his socials, I don't know. The next one, Jimmy on Relationships. Jimmy Knowles is a relationship educator, and I think he uses the term educator rather loosely, and content creator whose credentials stem from his personal life as a husband and father. So that means, 50% of the population probably is, qualified to do what he does. Recently, he's been on socials because he cheated on his wife. But they've since reunited. Now he's using that as fodder for his material, sort of includes that now, and he puts a very positive spin on that now, and it doesn't seem to have done him so much damage to his reputation as you would think, or maybe hope. And he has around 1.5 million followers on YouTube, and then there's the rest of the socials. Luke Hawkins, the third one here, is an Australian rags to riches celebrity coach. And recently there was it this one? I think there was a good article about on ABC, which I'll get to in a minute. So it says here, the third point, join our waiting list for free, $7,780 life coach certification training, which makes zero sense. But I would put my money on the fact that you'll be paying the $7,780, not free. So I don't know how the free works. He is about, the waiting list is free. Yes. Although you can, look, you can really dig into these and pull them apart. There's a lot of interest in the details. So he espouses himself as a master of neurotransformational therapy, NTT, which you may have heard of. That's a whole other topic. We'll leave that there, but it's a trauma healing therapy that he claims to have masterminded. He famously started from rock bottom and emotionally and financially. So that's his, qualification there somehow, and coached himself to ultimately create what he hails as the #1 life coaching school in Australia and a 7-figure annual salary. You can read his whole journey on his website.
Sorry, in context, neuro-linguistic programming in LP.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
In the last year or two, renamed it to NTT.
Yeah. Thank you. You've just covered my next 3 paragraphs. So there was a recent, at the end, questions, comments at the end. Thank you. Recently, like a week ago, there was an article in ABC about this particular, cult leader. It's a commercial cult, and a world-leading expert on cults and cult-like groups, Dr. Alexandra Stein, got drawn into his cult, his program at a sort of vulnerable stage in her life, and then tried to extract herself. And she spoke to the ABC. She got into his inner circle membership. So this is very much pyramid scheme, all of this multi-level marketing. And that cost her $12,000 she didn't get back. And in the article, he's quoted as saying, he confirmed that he was not a qualified psychologist, relationship counsellor, or mental health care professional. And to ensure the well-being of his clients, he employs trained professionals. But if you go to his website, immediately you'll get a pop-up that says, want a new career? Learn how to make $10,000 every month in the next 90 days as a certified life coach. So he's selling certificates. It's very dodgy. So that's sort of the next layer of coaches that I was being exposed to. And look, some of the things they say are actually quite good, but the whole setup, is extremely dodgy. Then came the crackpots and the copycat coaches who, recycle the material that's so abundant well, especially once you start looking at it on Facebook, it will flood you. So then yes, you could recycle and repackage and sell, you know, that information. So I started to notice that in my newsfeed. Some of the less charismatic copycats than those, you know, charismatic gurus. And yeah, they're not quite as polished. You can, you know, I could pick them pretty easily. But this was you know, another wake-up call. Be extra careful about, you know, what you're paying attention to on Facebook. And I don't have a slide for it, but yeah, I started seeing longer and longer ads from all these gurus, you know, professional or otherwise, with invitations. There'll be an incentive like, you know, click here for a free ebook or, you know, free information, and it takes you down a rabbit hole, a great unfolding invitations to receive more in-depth material, which then you have to attend their seminars to receive, or, you know, you have to do this, you have to join that. And it really, you know, is designed to draw you in and start getting you to part with serious money. So by this stage, I was trying to work on all these like gurus of various, you know, dubious quality I was dealing with. I was trying to come up with a collective noun for them. And I went to Wiktionary, and Wiktionary suggests a prophet of gurus, which I thought was quite good. And there was certainly a plethora of gurus. So this profiteering plethora of gurus wanted to help me with my heartbreak healing journey. I did respond to a couple of offers because by this stage I was, you know, preparing for this talk. I could feel something like this coming on, that there was a sort of story here I was starting to follow and document. But yeah, everything was just a teaser to draw you into, funnel you into buying something new. And the main thing, I've got the sense, the main thing they want is your email address, because then they can bombard you with, you know, all kinds of marketing. Then you get a barrage of junk emails. With offers like, you know, special today, only discounts 93% off, that sort of thing. So, yeah, so clearly I was being channeled down a social media marketing funnel. Anyone working in marketing will be familiar with the, you know, the customer funnel, and yeah, the step-by-step process to get you from, you know, awareness to a sale and repeat business and loyalty, to make it ongoing purchases. So, and here I was thinking Facebook really cared. The next barrage was summits and retreats. You know, now I'm so comfortable with all these, you know, gurus advising me. I need to get myself to some of these summits where they do, you know, the hard sells. So yeah, Facebook kindly offered me up some lovely retreats and summits so that I and other, you know, brave heartbroken women like me could part with their money in exchange for experiences such as the Heart Mind Institute, free 5-day online relationship wisdom summit with 35 speakers and free bonuses. 5 days, I thought, well, they'd have to pay me to do that. I'm not paying them to go and see 35 speakers. The free bonuses, when I investigated, mentioned in the middle slide, 3 interviews with one with Deepak Chopra, who you'll all know, the high priest of profiteering plethora of gurus, and a couple I haven't heard of, Tara Brach and Wim Hof, you may have heard of. And then if 5 days of motivational new age pseudoscientific healing wasn't enough, why not 10 days? Double the joy with a gifted healer and teacher, not just Amy Robeson, the Amy Robeson, who also has no qualifications or credentials, but, you know, hey, it's free. What do you expect? So no, I wasn't going to sit through a 10-day sacred awakening and healing masterclass to find out these are not ultimately free. And I didn't want to go through that high pressure MLM experience either, which is ultimately unrealistic incentives to recruit more vulnerable, heartbroken suckers into the scheme, ultimately. So perhaps reading was more my jam if I wasn't taking up these, these seminar offers, because as Facebook well knows, I did order a book on the topic, on attachment theory, which I don't know if you're familiar. In a nutshell, it's used by psychologists. It's very popular, particularly now, developed by a psychoanalyst and a psychologist, I think in the 50s, on the ways in which people attach or pull away in relationships, that dynamic that is believed to affect relationships based on early childhood experiences with your original carers. Do you have wounds from that will determine, that you're going to pull away or you're going to anxiously attach, the way you might behave in a relationship. So there's a lot on that. So yeah, so I started getting ads for relationship books. The first one though, they were kind of weird. The first one pictured that's not actually a book. That's just, I don't know what that is, but yeah, that's not actually a published book. The second one bothered me because, well, they're holding an image of 4 books and saying 6 books. So already I don't trust them. That will teach you more than a psychology degree. I mean, really? No. And then the third one was intriguing because it offered to help me break free from the drama triangle forever. And I'd never heard of that. And I'm sure there's no such thing. Where is that? Probably near Bermuda somewhere. So then we came to copycat books. Just as we have copycat cult leaders and coaches, relationship coaches, we have copycat books. And it's all the same book published by, different, I suppose, they might call themselves experts. I don't know. I didn't go too deeply into any of this. There's just way too much of it. I wouldn't. So this book, the Couples Communication Handbook, is what comes up when you Google one of the gurus, Jimmy Knowles, Jimmy on Relationships, we met earlier, who, cheated on his wife. His book, The Couples Communication Guide. When you try and find that, it's extreme. He espouses it a lot, he promotes it a lot, but to actually find it is, nigh impossible. You'll get this book come up instead, so people have sort of cottoned on. What Jimmy wants is for you to do his course, so you can get the book. Otherwise, yeah, very hard to find. Next, more resources for the heartbroken, and there's a whole lot of categories of these. Audiobooks, in case I didn't want to read another book, and a lot of audiobooks and a lot of apps. Like, apps are going to heal your heart and enlighten you on the psychology of relationships. Yeah, the third one, the Inner Child Journal. That one comes from, Soul Study, with a download button, which makes it look like it's free, that you can just download the book. When you click on that download button, you'll see right now it's half price. Grab it now for $8.99. So you can never assume that anything's free, and they're not upfront about, what things will cost. Maybe a book is too lengthy, but there are therapy apps. Duolingo for therapy. 2 different companies claim their therapy app is the Duolingo for therapy. I love these ones because they're kind of threatening. It made me laugh. It's like the Duolingo owl, but in the form of your toxic mother. Right. And this one, no wonder your bed's rotting. your mother. You've seen that film. That's the voice I heard it in. No wonder you're bed rotting. And I think you're going to need therapy after that particular therapy app, which is, yeah, also the Duolingo for therapy. So I've cracked you up. Sorry, Michelle. And yeah, it goes, when you click on it, it goes on to proclaim, if you need help managing your emotions, getting over heartbreak, or eliminate procrastination, well, that's me too, but that's another story. The app was created by scientists from Oxford, Cambridge, and Harvard and proven to work. That's pretty wild, completely unsubstantiated claim. That's as far as it goes. It's pretty wild. And then according to a review with the bed rotting people, it's crazy how like 420% happier and more in control of my emotions. I only wish I had found it sooner. How they measured that quotient exactly, well, you know, that is forever a mystery. They don't explain that either. Yes, resources came in every sort of printable form you can possibly imagine. This is just a small sampling of the many, many I was subjected to. A toolbox of mind-body practices, somatic. I was now to learn what somatic healing is. Well, I still haven't got my head around it, but I was now to be exposed to it. A nervous system regulation workbook it's for regulating your emotions. And shadow work, healing card prompts, and there's another word I was going to see again and again, which we will actually look at more closely. I did go down this one a little bit, the shadow work bundle from Olivia at Daily Wellness. When I did click on the free download button, I received a long message, much scrolling. Download your free shadow healing prompt cards designed to help you reconnect with your playful, imaginative and carefree side and allow you to fully break the ancestral cycles by healing yourself to more freedom, love and play. So sort of taking that inner child hearing and making it very woo and, you know, mystical. It's filled with thought-provoking questions and prompts that will help you dive into the shadow and bring you right back into the light. So I don't know, that's sort of sounding a bit pseudo-religious. It's confused at best. If we're generous, we'd say it's confused. So being childlike, honestly, if I thought acting like a child was going to be therapeutic for me, I'd still be with my ex. I didn't say that, sorry. Olivia's message ad, which went on and on and on, you click on one thing that leads you to another and goes on and on and on, and you keep, you know, qualifying for things. I don't know if you remember those Reader's Digest packages, if you ever did any of those. You keep winning, you keep getting the winning combination, and yes, the key fits, you know, it's all little bits in envelopes, and it takes you on this whole journey, but you're always winning, you're always unlocking the next step that you're winning, and it never gets you anywhere or to anything, but it's a process, and presumably you're going to buy some books along the way. It's a more sophisticated version of that. Like that sort of classic style of marketing. And so ultimately, after unlocking all the offers, I was ultimately offered the Ultimate Shadow Work Bundle for 95% off the usual price of $385, which I'm no mathematician, but that was about $20. I saved my lobster. I didn't give it to Olivia. I figured that she's already got my email address, so that's enough from me for her. So by this stage, I could practically do a psychology, you know, I'm practically qualified by now, according to Facebook. Or if I want to get, you know, formally certified, here's a whole massive onslaught of courses I might consider. So yeah, they thought I might as well become a registered psychologist, and then I can, really analyze myself, and perhaps I can train others, start a pyramid scheme, advertise it on Facebook. Seemed to be where it was all going. A graduate certificate of counselling. Which one's that? It's one of those. Kickstart a rewarding career or enhance my skills in my existing role to complete in 6 months online. Or a whole psychology degree. I had plenty of these thrown at me. Now do the trick. I'll be so busy studying, I'll forget all about my ex in my new psychology degree. And why not go all the way and get my master's? This has just come from almost nowhere. Now suddenly I want to do a master's. But if not, if I don't have, 4 to 6 years, I can, instead of devoting all those years to a degree or master's, Efficient Coach will help me become a certified positive psychology coach. That's the first one. For $7, I can become a certified NLP and life coach, cheap and unethical. On the other end of the scale, for nigh on $5,000, and that's half price, I can get a diploma in clinical hypnosis and strategic psychotherapy. It's a limited offer, so hurry while it's half price. And I love the little details, like this woman with those sort of spooky hypnosis eyes. So yeah, sometimes you can find little amusing bits and pieces in there. I liked that little touch. Another little case study, one I did take a little bit further, didn't just scroll past the ad. I was interested in seeing what the Claudia Blanco meant by her free 7-day healing plan for a toxic relationship detox. She has 21 Facebook followers and 0 reviews, so my expectations were not set high. In her ad, she instructs us to download the free 7-day plan from the top of her Facebook page. So the second image there, I went to the top of her Facebook page and I couldn't find it. So all I could find was her shop, and suddenly it switched to free downloads for business success, and all her posts, all her images, all her videos, everything was about business success and business marketing. No more mention of this 7-day detox that was free. Yeah, her not free digital marketing guides were also in her shop. And I thought she might as well be selling a book called How to Scam People that you pay for and never arrives. Felt like that kind of scenario. But then, much to my delight, the Claudia Blanco messaged me while I was on one of her socials. Got a message from the Claudia Blanco, coach, business chats and your privacy. Nothing about healing, heartbreaks, detox. Asking how she can help me. Hi, Karen, please let us know how we can help you. Well, actually, Claudia, I was just trying to find your free 7-day healing plan for a detox of a toxic relationship, but it doesn't seem to be on your Facebook group where you said it would be. Can you please send it to me here? No, she actually is after my email address. So, hey, Karen, thank you so much for reaching out. Can you send me your email address, please? So, sure, Claudia, I'm very curious to see what will come to fruition when I send you my email address. So, and there it is. I've got a message. Your free guide is here at the top. Unverified email address. Well, she's such a business person. She's the Claudia Blanco. Why would she be unverified? Very suspicious. So, and then she's back to the 7-day detox guide. Now, because the email address was unverified, I didn't want to click on anything. It turned out to be clickbait, just to download, I suspect, malware or spyware to my laptop. I don't know. I deleted it. And so no 7-day toxic virus detox for my MacBook. And then Facebook started to ramp up the woo, the inner healing. Not through psychology. We've tried that, or they've tried that, through vagus nerve healing, parasympathetic nervous system fixes, breathing, heart and mind connection, chakra alignments, and energy healing, somatic release, somatic movement to release trauma. And I started to find out now, you know, what that was. Apparently, we've all been storing our pent-up emotions in our hips, and we have to release the hips. Who knew? It's that simple. So if only I'd known that sooner, I could have saved the relationship. You know, hey, honey, let's just flex our hips. We're good. We'll flex our hips. And we'll do the arm swing, the third one. We'll swing our arms for 10 minutes every night in our pajamas every night before bed for 10 minutes to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. So, yeah, some of this was pretty bonkers. Or we could have, as the first one indicates, we could have sat down cross-legged on the floor and rocked back and forth to activate a primal calming response on our nervous systems. We didn't think of that. Or I thought it might be quite nice to curl up in a fetal position under the coffee table, going, I'm not here, I'm not here. But no, that's just me. None of them were suggesting that, strangely enough. I was expecting that one. Sound healing was the next thing to come my way. Lots of it in various forms, lots and lots of it. As the first screenshot says, a little music theory and a pretty picture that actually has meaning, depicting the Greek modes and the major scale as a parent scale, maybe more inner child therapy combined with music. It uses, the next one, using lots of gentle NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which is a whole other, you know, topic for another night. Bliss sound waves with a secret sound at the frequency of your desires from humanmeditation.com. So really writing it into the sound of the language there. In the middle, meditation and mantra slow dive. Slow dive, life-changing results fast. They're very confusing, these things. They don't read and edit their own material. One of their ads said, I made a note, I haven't got it, sorry, 20 million users can't be wrong. They have 50K likes and 68K followers, so that's a pretty wild claim. But then how could I go without the frequency of love tuning fork set? It's free. Apparently. Or some very healing pointy shapes. Use sacred geometry to shape your reality. This is beyond, you know, release the hips. This is actually using shapes to alter your reality. Okay. Then there's the jaunty sounding 7-minute chakra tune, sort of overlapping into the musical information from the slide before. And the third one, the vagus nerve healing group, back to vagus nerve. You can't tell me that that's not a cult. Look at them. That's a cult. So at this stage, I was about sort of halfway into this 3-month journey. I was at about the 6-week mark, wondering where the hell was this going to go from here. And so we're probably at about the halfway mark in this presentation. So maybe have a breath, breathe, release the hips, have some water. So it took a turn at this point, distinctly took a turn. Gave up on me engaging in any of the former and decided, right, she's all better now. Obviously, she doesn't need that stuff. Well, you know, with my master's in psychology and my $7 life coach certificate and my free tuning fork, I'm ready now. I need to get back on that dating horse. Ting with the tuning fork. So I started receiving ads for dating apps, not the usual ones. They're not advertised on Facebook, or I would have been drowning in those. And in case those more conventional ones weren't my scene, there were a few more interesting ones. No, so I'll go back. I'll talk about these a bit. So yeah, in case those conventional dating apps weren't my scene, they offered every possible alternative to the standard dating apps. And yeah, because they're obviously not allowed to advertise them, find other dating appy kind of things to advertise. And dating events is a big thing on Facebook. So there was, City Swoon, Stitch, Meetup, Time Left at the top of the third one. I was a bit concerned about. Sounds like I'm running out of time, or I might go there and have dinner with strangers and get murdered. It's a little bit ominous. The first one, a Facebook group, Single Australians Looking for Love. Now, look, I'd been in a Facebook group for dating before my heartbreak relationship, and that's how I met people like Mr. Five Lies, let's call him. But that's another story. So no, I wasn't going back to Facebook dating groups. So then, there were dating app gurus. So everything around dating apps, dating app gurus to help me, polish my my dating app profile, templates for which they already have in dating apps, 25 plus templates with exactly what to say and what to say to create deep and interesting, so deep and meaningful, deep and interesting conversations with a match. I don't think they've been on dating apps, not having deep and interesting conversations. But yeah, so what to talk about, how to message once you catch a match. Your next swipe could be your last. Click the learn button now to get instant access for just $57. But some of the dating apps are quite pricey, and in fact that's a whole other topic as well, how they lure you in, how they use techniques to get you to pay and unlock things, and then how difficult it is to get out of them. So yeah, that's a whole other topic. I did get some dating apps for alternative sort of dating apps. I love this one, the ad, not the app. I haven't got the app. Field, and the second one there, peeping through the leaves, like she's in the Garden of Eden, or I'm not sure what's happening there, in the bushes. Not on her own, presumably. Sacred sexuality, open the energy of intimacy. Go on a 21-day liberating journey and read it with me. It's up there on the screen, to root yourself in self-love. I was a bit distracted by the photo there for a minute until I saw that bit. It literally says that. No, that is not written by an Aussie. No. So thanks for the entertainment, Honeybee Henderson, who brings us the 24 lessons. And again, there's a lot of that NLP, sort of, that language in there. Honeybee Henderson. All right, brings us next to, brace yourselves, self-love, talk about self-love and rooting yourself. No? Sex toys. Being a single independent woman on a 21-day journey to root myself, then obviously this is the go. Or maybe I'm just in between dates. I especially need one shaped like a lemon or an avocado, and they're so good I'll scream again and again. I also need a lot of anti-aging treatments, apparently, non-invasive cosmetic surgery, gym memberships, or to, look my best for the dating apps and my 21-day solo journey in the jungle with whatever's going on there. for my ex or for my ex when he comes running back due to my forward text, which is my next topic. But then given I am a certain age bracket, yes, I'm always getting, you know, anti-aging treatment ads and all of that. So, okay, that's just business as usual. Okay, here we take a darker turn, getting my ex back. And forward text or in other ways, or how to manipulate your ex. So there I was, you know, reading myself with my Facebook Masters in Psychology under one arm, my cornucopia of vibrating fruit and vegetables under the other arm, tuning fork, and I was still pretty heartbroken. So I asked Facebook, "Oh, Facebook, in all your wisdom, whatever shall I do next?" And Facebook answers, "Well, Karen, maybe really what you wanted all along, know it or not, was to get your ex back." So yes, we turn now to the dark arts to lure my ex back. With the 28-day Femme Power Challenge, Femme Fatale plan. Ignore him to submission. The silent treatment as one of 7 manipulation tricks. It's one for each day of the week, it appears in the first slide. And then ignore him to submission with a 30-day archetype-based transformation plan. Kind of interested to see what those archetypes were, but you know, what is it? Is it like 7 days, 30 days? What do I need to commit to here? And then in the last one, they break it down. Just disappear for 1 month or 21 days and go to war with yourself. First, it's self-love. Now it's going to war with myself. But at any rate, I should stop being convenient to him. Well, yeah, I'm in a different state, actually. So, yeah, that applies. Love bombing practice for 2.5 hours in the little square here. Quite enjoyed reading this. Manipulation tips, 15 minutes. Gaslighting, 25 minutes. Surely that deserves more. Dark psychology. Well, we've already been doing some of that. So let's call that 1.25 hours, knock a bit off. So if 28 days or 1 week of femme power doesn't lure him back, all is not lost. I will magnetize my man with my magnetic feminine polarity trademark that will pull him back into love with 100% certainty. From the Muses Academy in the middle, become the woman he can't stop thinking about, break his ego and make him miss you. Get a personalized plan. Okay, that was pretty tempting, not to get him back, but just to like break him and make him want me back. But if not, I can become the woman he can't stop thinking about. And I will make him miss me, even if he's not interested in me, which again, doesn't quite make sense, but okay. But not to worry, I'm going to become a man handler. I'm going to crack the man code. I'm going to learn the cheat code for men's mind. One, not plural minds, just now you've got one. Cracking the man code from Brave Thinking Institute. And if you click on it, it says there's lots of man puns in there. Click on it. Are you ready to finally manifest? Get it? Manifest the relationship you've always wanted. If you've ever been mystified by why men do the things they do, yeah, we all have, and baffled by their decisions, your investment only $97, or 3 simple payments of $37, which adds up to $111. So that's $14 more. But, you know, I suppose it's convenience. Master the art of texting, how to drive him crazy for you by text. There's a lot of these ads. There's a lot on texting. And yeah, this 4-word text came up a lot. And so don't try and read all that. It's, you know, too much, but I'll just point out a few salient things. I'll just walk you through this little case study with the 4-word text. Matthew Coast of Matthew Coast International, another charismatic commercial cult leader, credentials still a mystery, has bombarded all possible forms of social media by promising the 4-word text message that gets his attention and pulls him back. Now, there's a lot of discussion also, like, you know, Reddit, blah, 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 a lot of discussion, people trying to find the 4-word text, and you cannot, you know, I defy anybody to actually find it. He has it somehow completely sewn up that you can't Google that and find that. If you Google, you'll get links. The second one shows, I Googled, what is Matthew Coe's 4-word text? And you just get links to his YouTube videos. You won't find it there either. It's just layer after layer after layer. To try get you to his events, his Forever Woman course, or buy his Forever Woman book, which is also extremely hard to find. Basically, I think you have to do the course to be able to buy the book. His other titles are super cheap. They don't have the same traction as this really catchy 4-word thing that's really, you know, people are dying to know. And there's a lot of discussion about it. AI, you know, that will come up, you know, at the top when you Google. So AI offers a totally free 2-word text, which I thought was pretty good, which is just Google his name. So not Google, just text his name to him. And well, if someone just like texted you your name, you'd be like, what the hell? You know, you'd be a bit curious. You just might respond. So I thought that was pretty pithy, but also completely free. His pile of other books, very cheap, but not the one with the magic 4-word text. Finally, I did find it in one of his Facebook posts by scrolling my little fingers off. And it was $47 US or $74 Australian, which is for 4 words, $18.50 per word. Otherwise, and I love that there's this sort of second tier of, you know, scammers on selling some of these products and charging outrageous prices. Amazon Australia, $1,736 for a used paperback of that book that apparently we don't even know has the 4-word text in it, or $231.33 US from Amazon. Now, I did the maths again. I've got a calculator. That's how I can do it. 1736 divided by 4 equals $434 per word. So yeah, these second-tier operators are really onto something, and I kept seeing them, you know, again and again too, ads from them. Okay, so the 4-word text remains elusive. I still don't know what it is. Then you'll be fun, you know, you're welcome to share. Kind of beyond wanting to know. Well, who knows? Well, yeah, if it exists. Oh, you do. There's no 4 words. Well, yes, you can never get to the bottom of it. That does make sense. Okay, next, we're still in dark territory here, and you can tell by all the black and red colouring. Love spells. Facebook divined that I'm such a hard case. I need to use witchcraft to manage my personal life. So here's where the magic begins. Would I like a magic spell to enchant my ex and get him to come running back to me? Love spells that work instantly. Cast for you today by a professional spellcaster. So fresh daily, new spells, fresh daily. Do you want to put your husband or wife under your control? That might be the next slide. Sorry, I missed a page. Got to fluff it up somewhere along the line. Oh, no, maybe next slide. No. Okay. I had one that said, do you want to put your husband or wife under your control or bring back lost lovers in 3 hours? Actually, it's on the other side of the country now, and the flight is like more than 4 hours. So, yeah, that's love potion. Where's that gone? No, I'm missing that one. Sorry, there was one about love potion. Or a bit of voodoo, maybe. Searching for a trusted lost love spellcaster, look no further. Send a WhatsApp message. That's not suspicious. WhatsApp's not dodgy. Not dodgy at all. Yeah, I love that voodoo that you do. Snake oils for the heartbroken. When you're single on Valentine's Day, there's the magnetic theory talisman. Look at that shape. It's obviously designed to be multifunctional. The text at the bottom says it's also a magnetic therapy talisman. That's what I mean by multifunctional, not what you were thinking. Oh, his perfume. Yeah, this is some love potion kind of thing. Go to perfume. 2 drops and he's yours. Nothing manipulative or sinister about that. It's scientifically proven to make men drop to their knees. I don't think that is exactly what's going on in this third photo. Something else going on there. I expect there's a mix-up at the, in the go-to marketing department, and somewhere there's an ad showing a man on his knees saying it's scientifically proven to make men want to choke. That's a mix-up. When you look at the prices of the go-to drops, I didn't calculate the price per drop, but the second tier scammers, well, first we have the prices from Goda. Bottle is $47, or you can buy one, get one free for $47. Okay, and so on. Buy 3, get 2 free, $141, and this is US dollars. Or in the third one, go to Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, again, second tier scammers, they're buying it up and reselling it at exorbitant prices. This one was also a little bit of a case study. No, I'll go back. Stop the Con on Facebook kindly had some reviews. For a lot of these things, you can find reviews and they're very eye-opening. Let me just read you a couple quickly. 1 star, scammer, won't send your order and won't respond once they have your money. Placed an order with 2-day expedited shipping. It never shipped. When I reached out, they claimed it was returned due to address. It sounded like a lie. I just confirmed my address anyway, hoping that actually sent it this time. Nope, it's been 11 days, nothing. The post office confirmed nothing was ever shipped. Never again. Stay away. This is a scam company. I wish I had checked before I ordered. They had behind a return policy, reading verbatim, having sent me perfume that smells of nothing. At least he got something. He got nothing. It does not turn heads. It just robs you of your money. Do not buy. Very, very bad company. So we didn't enter into purchasing any love potions that smell like nothing or do not arrive. But fear not, astrology is here to guide me. Anna Kovac Astrology has a combo, jumbo combo with her unique text message formula that gives you copy, paste, fill in the blank text. Again, for every possible situation and outcome you desire based on his star sign. I don't know how that works. It's like 100 monkeys in a room with 100 typewriters. Most of the astrology ads I noticed were based on moon rather than sun or star sign. So that struck me as a bit of a new thing as well. I don't know what's going there. Everyone's going for the moon now. I'm obviously not exploited enough. We need to do that, more of that. Tarot readings, of course. Tarot cards. Pick a card, any card, with readings by Mia, or when you click on it, it's actually Professor Mia from the next level. Not up front, but yeah, dig in a layer, and yeah, it's Professor Mia. And many other tarot readings from Readings Spiritual Society Co. And Professor Mia says, when you dig in this reading, I'll reveal to you who your soulmate is, initials, dates, places, and more. If it's someone new or from the past, how to open your heart to more love, and we'll answer any follow-up questions you may have. Professor Mia has a Reconnect Love Spell reading for me. Then next, love reading tarot, you can type 555 in the comments, or 666, I couldn't use that one, to claim a tarot reading to reveal my ex's inner anxiety and pain. Oh, delicious. Yes, please. 555. And I did that one, and like someone with the love potion, I didn't receive anything. Some of these just go nowhere. So I don't know what the point was. Maybe it's that it shows up on their social media stats that somebody, you know, interacted or commented or something, and that's meaningful for advertising. There's all kinds of motives you can't immediately identify. Cindy Lauper, the classic celebrity endorsement here, wants to know if I'm going to strike it rich or meet my soulmate. I can donate $10 or more in support of her True Colours Foundation, or even meet her at an upcoming event. So that one's my favourite. It's a bit sad though that, you know, that's what she's reduced to. I'd rather watch her YouTube videos for free, the 80s music videos. Angels and Psychics. Here's a free 21-minute, sounds exhausting, guided angel message with Melanie Beckler. Okay, I clicked on the ad and was asked for my email address. Not surprising. I received an email inviting me into the channeling room. And in case I missed the special offer, I can now get 7 of her best-selling Healing with Angels sessions, so they're not very personalised, for 85% off. So, yeah, one layer back, here's the sell. So I did go, I carried through. I gave her my email address. I mean, I might as well now. My email account is, I'm just going to have to like scrap it and start a new one. You know, it's just like so inundated with junk, and I'll never be able to unsubscribe from them all. I clicked on it and, I opened it, but didn't click on anything else. There was an MP3 angel message attached. They're very technologically advanced up there in heaven, apparently, which I had to download to my computer and then transfer to my phone or tablet through iTunes. Well, that sounds like it will cost money. It also sounds very risky. I'm no IT security expert, but I ain't doing that. So that was a double delete. It seems easier just to become a psychic with a free psychic masterclass and do it myself and bypass all of these dodgy operators. Or why not become an angel? I didn't see any ads for that. There's a gap in the market. Become an angel. So next one, I'm out of order here, is draw your soulmate. Will it be him? Will it be somebody new? Will it be somebody I'm going to meet in 2 weeks? That's guaranteed. Who is my soulmate and where will I meet him within the next 2 weeks, or money back? Guaranteed. And again, there's a lot of copycats. As you can see, 2 different sources here. One of them says, beware of the copycats. They all want to be, you know, the original mastermind behind this great creative scam. You can even buy them on Etsy now. So, yeah, that's copycats. Allow me to quickly read the reviews for Melissa, Psychic Artist, another copycat, on Trustpilot. The first one is from Karen, and it's not me, I assure you. 1 star. This is about Melissa, Psychic Artist. I saw the advert on Facebook, end of 2022. I ordered a future husband drawing with his initials, where and when we would meet. I received it all in a few days. It's now Feb 2024. Nothing happened at all. No man, nothing. I kept the email, which claims to accept replies. Remember, this is money back guarantees. Promises, 100% money back, etc. I've tried 3 ways to email asking for a refund. No reply at all. This is a total scam. In case you happen to see Melissa, my order number is blah, blah, blah. Like many others, I was deceived. Beware. Yeah. It's filthy, isn't it? Yeah, very, very predatory. And this is the thing about all of this, it's so predatory on vulnerable people. Yeah, yeah. So you only have to do a little bit of research to find it, but now that so many people are doing it, but if you were caught up, this is 2 years ago, that first review, there may not have been all the copycats. And, you know, it's quite, you know, sophisticated in some ways. Yeah, the next one, 1 star, just save your money. I was just curious about the picture. I got a drawing of someone looking like a Ken doll, no resemblance to a real person whatsoever, which has probably been sent to other hundreds of customers, followed by lots of unsolicited emails. Now, this person knows, regarding additional services I never asked for. Yeah, they know now, but yeah, they got caught out. And we all do, you know, none of us are completely impervious. The third one I'm going to read is my favourite. Again, 1 star. Apparently, my soulmate is the serial killer, Charlie Brand. It's his twin and old enough to be my dad. Definitely was creepy opening the drawing rather than believable, but worth a shot, haha, well, worth a laugh. Also, after you pay, you receive another email asking you to pay again. Do not pay again. Had nothing but spam emails since, and it's a new email account. I know the feeling. I'm going to have to get another email. And so I use, so beware of that too. So yes, let's not do the draw. Actually, yeah, nothing comes. They get your credit card details, which is what really scared me. I would not be giving any credit card details to any of these people, even though they have your best interests at heart and are here to help and guide you. Okay, so none of that's worked, or I haven't taken up any of that. So the only reason I'm single now is I haven't been wishing. I haven't been manifesting hard enough. I could manifest my dream guy in 3 weeks after 25 years of an unfulfilling relationship cycle. Attract your dream man in 20 days for only $22 in a Manifest Him masterclass. This is lucrative stuff. Look, the last one has 12.k likes and 1.6k shares. $22. I didn't do the maths, but yeah, manifesting and raising your vibration seems to go hand in hand, which brings us back here. Somebody said vibration. And we're nearly at the end now. I mean, I just had to pull the plug at some point. It just kept coming. More woo for you. There's using your intuition, which is your soul talking and channeling powers. Being guided by your inner compass. No water divining my dream man into existence. I was surprised not to see that as well. So there's another gap in the market. I can feel it in my waters. I can't do the accent. I thought that was a missed opportunity when you can take up. Hypnosis. We're going through heartbreak in your sleep with Hypnosio. Power of hypnotherapy. Honestly, a few months ago, I would have paid big bucks for a good, healthy coma and just comatose, slept my way through my heartbreak. But no, Hypnosio didn't quite give me the sense of confidence they were hoping it would. Or become supernatural. The peak, the peak of all of this. Or if you've mastered all of that, there's only one thing left to do now, just become supernatural, like Holly Toledo, Batman. Why didn't they start with this one? Now, if I was supernatural, I wouldn't need or want any of those things. I'd just fly over to my ex and overpower him with the power of my love. Total value for a special limited time only price. Well, it was $647 US to become supernatural, which, you know, would be a bargain if it was 2, 1,018 Australian dollars. But for an annual membership, 119 or 187 US dollars. And apparently, all these numbers, all these amounts of money are all in odd numbers. And apparently odd numbers are somehow more compelling than even numbers. That's, maybe something to look into. I didn't, because I'm nearly at the end. And look, I can laugh now, but all of this just completely messed up my newsfeed, my email address and all my socials. And I'm going to have to say out loud in the direction of my phone, where is it? I need to buy a new fridge. I need to clear up my newsfeed. But no, it was, jokes aside, it was kind of nauseating. It was very disturbing. It's, it is very dark. And without actually parting with any money, without actually being scammed by any of these scammers, I will separate the first, psychologists and, doctors and, with PhDs in the first few, the first slide. But for the rest, yeah, they're really, a flock of vultures, just, wanting to pick at my broken-hearted carcass and take my money, really wanting to exploit people who are, in a place of pain and vulnerable. And it made me think about, what it would be like. I was researching, heartbreak, like 3 months, I'm over it, I'm fine. But if I had a terminal illness and I was using social media for support groups, what happens then, to your news feed? It's, it's like ambulance chasing. It's really, really horrible stuff. So, and look, as for my broken heart, I shouldn't be sad, because as twin flames, we're drawn by forces beyond our comprehensions. We will keep crossing paths. According to Moon Grade, it wasn't even a relationship breakup. What was I crying about? It was just a twin flame separation, an important step in our spiritual growth, so we can reunite on a deeper level in the future. Oh. But this last Facebook ad is my favourite one of all. This is when our twin flames reunite. And I decided I don't even want him anymore. I'm over it. So thank you, Facebook. Your work here is done.